lived for 30 years before I finally learned these lime storage tricks. Hi friends, I'm Nancy. Today I'll share how to store limes properly and how to use them wisely so you can save money, reduce waste, and always have fresh lime ready when you need it. Before we talk about storage, the most important step is preparing your limes the right way. This simple habit can add weeks or even months to their freshness, and many people skip it without realizing how much it matters. When you bring limes home from the store, don't put them straight into the fridge. The skin often carries dirt, wax, and residue from handling and transport. If those stay on the peel, moisture gets trapped and the limes spoil much faster. Start by rinsing each lime under clean running water. Gently rub the surface with your hands to remove any visible dirt. Next, sprinkle about 2 tablespoons of baking soda over the limes. Using your palms lightly, rub the baking soda all over the peel. This step helps remove wax and surface impurities and can also reduce bitterness if you later use the zest. Take your time here. A gentle rub is enough. Once you've finished, rinse the limes thoroughly with clean water. Then prepare a bowl of lightly salted water and place the limes in. Let them soak for about 5 minutes. This mild salt soak helps slow bacteria growth and keeps the peel firm longer. After soaking, rinse the limes again 2 or 3 times to remove any salt. Now comes a step that truly makes a difference: drying. Use a clean kitchen towel or paper towel and dry each lime completely. Even a little moisture left on the peel can lead to mold or soft spots later. When I was younger, I watched my mother handle citrus very carefully. She never rushed to use it, and she never let it spoil either. She had simple habits like washing fruit properly and storing it the right way. At the time, I didn't think much of it. But years later, when I started cooking for my own family, I realized how valuable those small kitchen habits really were. Once your limes are properly cleaned and completely dry, the next step is choosing the right storage method for everyday use. This method is simple, clean, and works especially well if your family uses limes regularly throughout the week. Start by preparing a clean, airtight container or a glass jar with a lid. Line the bottom with 1 or 2 layers of paper towels. These paper towels play a very important role. They absorb excess moisture from the limes and from the refrigerator, which helps prevent mold and keeps the skin from turning soft or wrinkled too quickly. Place each lime gently on top of the paper towel. Try not to stack too many on top of one another. If you have a lot of limes, add another layer of paper towel and place more limes on top. This spacing allows air to circulate and prevents bruising, which can cause limes to spoil faster. Close the lid tightly and store the container in the refrigerator, ideally in a middle shelf rather than the coldest area near the back. Extremely cold spots can damage the peel and shorten storage time. Every 5 to 7 days, take a quick look inside. If the paper towel feels damp, simply replace it with a dry one. With this method, your limes can stay fresh, green, and juicy for 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes even longer if they were very fresh to begin with. When you take one out to use, it will still have a bright aroma, firm skin, and plenty of juice inside. This is one of the easiest and most reliable ways to reduce waste, and always have fresh limes ready in your kitchen. For longer storage, especially when you want your limes to last for several months, soaking them in lightly salted water is a very practical and effective method. It sounds simple, but when done correctly, it works surprisingly well and keeps the limes firm and fragrant. Start by preparing a clean plastic bottle or a large jar with a lid. If you're using a plastic bottle, you can carefully cut the top part so it opens and closes easily, almost like a hinged lid. This makes it convenient to take limes in and out without disturbing the rest. Place the already washed and fully dried limes into the container. Next, prepare the soaking solution. Pour about 1 quart of filtered water into a bowl, then add half a teaspoon of salt. Stir gently until the salt dissolves completely. This diluted salt water has mild antibacterial properties. It helps slow down spoilage and keeps the lime peel from becoming soft. Slowly pour the salt water into the container until the limes are fully submerged. Make sure they are completely covered. Close the lid tightly, or if using a bottle, secure it well, so no air gets inside. Place the container in the refrigerator. With this method, whole limes can stay fresh for 3 to 6 months. When you need one, simply open the container, take out a lime, rinse it briefly under clean water, and use it as usual. Then seal the container again. The limes will remain green, juicy, and aromatic, making this a wonderful option if you like to stock up when limes are affordable and always want them ready for cooking or drinks. Another reliable way to keep limes fresh for a much longer time is to wrap them individually and store them properly. This method is especially useful when you want to preserve limes for several months without changing their natural flavor or texture. After washing the limes thoroughly and letting them dry, completely wrap each one individually in a sheet of kitchen paper or paper towel. The paper helps absorb excess moisture released over time and protects the peel from direct contact with cold air. Next, place each wrapped lime into a zip-top bag, an insulated bag, or a well-sealed food container. Try not to overcrowd them. Giving each lime a little space helps prevent bruising and keeps the peel firm. If you don't have insulated bags, a regular airtight container works just fine as long as it closes tightly. Store the container in the refrigerator, away from areas that are extremely cold, such as right next to the freezer vent. This gentle, stable temperature helps the limes stay fresh without drying out. Using this method, limes can stay fresh for 6 to 12 months. When you take one out, you'll notice the peel is still smooth and green, the inside is juicy, and the aroma is just as bright as when you first bought them. This is a simple, clean, and economical way to store limes long-term, especially if you like to buy in bulk and always want fresh citrus on hand. For the final tip, let me share a very traditional but incredibly useful way to process green limes. Making salted limes, sometimes called lime salt or preserved limes. This is one of those old kitchen habits that may seem simple, but it works beautifully and helps you use every part of the lime. Start by choosing fresh, firm green limes. Then slice the limes into thin rounds or small wedges, depending on how you plan to use them later. Place the lime slices in a bowl and sprinkle them with salt. You can keep it classic with just salt or add a small amount of sugar if you prefer a more balanced, mild flavor. Gently toss everything together so the salt coats the limes evenly. Next, transfer the lime mixture into a clean, dry glass jar. Press the limes down slightly so their juice begins to release. Seal the jar tightly and store it in the refrigerator. After just a few days, the limes will soften, release more juice, and turn into a flavorful lime salt mixture. This preserved lime is incredibly versatile. You can stir a spoonful into warm water for a refreshing drink, use it as a dip for fruit, or add a little to soups and broths for a bright, savory note. Because the limes are salted, they last much longer and nothing goes to waste. You're using both the peel and the flesh, which means more flavor and better value. Simple methods like this make green limes easier to enjoy, help stretch your groceries, and bring more intention and care into everyday cooking. Do you usually buy limes every week or only when you need them? Let me know below. Before we finish today, I just want to remind you that little kitchen habits like these can make everyday life easier and more enjoyable. Taking a few extra minutes to store and use your limes the right way helps you save money, reduce waste, and always have fresh flavor ready when you need it. I hope these tips bring a bit of comfort and confidence into your kitchen. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Please take good care of yourself, and I'll see you again in the next video.